Hello and welcome to my tutorial on how to make automatic airlocks in Starbound. I'm going to show you two versions, a wet version and a dry version. Let me just show you quickly how they work. This is the dry version right here. As you can see, the door opens automatically when you approach. It fills up with water, the lights go on, and then you can exit your airlock. When you approach your base from the outside, it's going to be dry again. You're going to have to wait for it to fill back up. The door will open. Then you're going to have to wait for it to drain, and then the inside door will open. So this is a little bit faster to leave your base, but it does take a little bit longer to re-enter your base. With the wet airlock, it's exactly the same thing in reverse. It's always full. The door will open. Once the water's all gone, the water will fill up the airlock, and then you can exit. And likewise in reverse, it takes a little bit longer to leave your base, but it will take a lot less time to get back into your base. Alright, so there's only one more difference between the two airlocks, and that is that they use a different amount of logic gates. So for the wet airlock, you're going to want 2 NOT gates and 2 AND gates. Ignore that other AND gate there. And for the dry airlock, you're going to need 3 NOT gates and 2 AND gates. The other materials you're going to need are, you're going to need 4 proximity scanners. So you can get those at the wiring table with the AND gates and the NOT gates. You're going to need 2 liquid sensors, and you're going to need 1 drain. You're also going to need 3 doors of any kind. You can use vertical, horizontal, or these diagonal doors. Whichever doors you use, it doesn't matter, they all work. If you need to use all vertical doors for some reason, you can't find a horizontal door, or whatever the reason is, you can just do it like this. Instead of having that horizontal door down there, you can just have these drains connected to a door like this. Alright, so let me just give you a quick look at the wiring. This is about how much wiring you're going to need. It's going to be a little bit less than this in the tutorial because I don't have as many drains in the tutorial building. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to show you how to wire this up. So let's start with the dry gate. The dry gate, I think, is a little bit more desirable, mainly because these lights can be wired up, give a little cool effect. They don't work as well on the wet gate because on the wet gate they're always on, and they also have a siren sound, and it gets very annoying after a little while. So the first thing you want to do is, if you have these lights, you don't need them, obviously, is you can hook them up to the water sensor that you have at the very bottom here. So you're going to make a little 3 or 2, you don't need this block right here. I just put it for a little bit more uniformity for when you walk across here. But you can just hook those 2 lights up if you do want them to the water sensor at the bottom. Alright, and now let's get started on the actual project. So, the first thing you want to do is you need to put a water sensor at the top, away from your door. So it cannot be right next to your door. Even right here, I would recommend against. Mine is 3 blocks away. And then you hook that up to your door going outside of your base. So the only time we ever want this door open is when this is completely filled with water. And this also saves us a logic gate, because if we do it this way, the only time that this door will ever be open is when this room is completely filled with water. And you might think that we'd only ever want this door open when these proximity sensors are active. But this top door will only ever open and let water in if these proximity sensors are active. So as soon as these proximity sensors are not active, the door will close, the water will start to drain, and therefore, if we just hook this up directly to that water sensor, we save ourselves a logic gate and a little bit of wiring, and it just will open and close the door right around the same time that this one opens and closes. So that just saves us a little bit of time. You can always add another logic gate if you do want to do it that way, which will make this door a little bit more uniform with the door up top, but I prefer to do it this way. Now the drain at the bottom, we want it on at all times, so we're going to hook it up to a NOT gate. The drain will automatically be on at all times if nothing's wired to it, but we also do need to turn it off if we ever open the outside door. So that's why we're going to hook it up to the NOT gate. The next thing we want to do is hook that same NOT gate up to the 2 door panels on the outside door. That way, if we're over here, this drain is off. Otherwise, the drain is on. As you can see, the wires lighting up. It's on now. Alright. And the next thing we want to do is we want to open up this door. We want to hook that door up to an AND gate. The only time we ever want to open this door up is if this outer door is one of these 2 switches is on, so plug those both into the same slot on an AND. And if this gate right here is closed, so hook that gate up to a NOT and to the AND. Okay. So as long as this gate is closed and this gate is open, or this gate's this proximity sensor is on, that door will open and will fill up with water. Otherwise, we'll slowly drain the water. Like I said, having more drains is definitely a huge advantage because otherwise it takes quite some time to empty. Alright, now the next thing we want to do, or the last thing we have to do, is open up the inside door if there's no water in the airlock. So first thing we're going to do is hook these 2 door switches up to our other AND gate, and then we're going to hook them both up to this water sensor's NOT gate. So you're going to take this same water sensor down here and hook it up to a NOT gate, and then that NOT gate to the same AND gate as those 2 door panels, and then that to your door. If there's no water and the panels are on, the door will open. And that's all she wrote. It should work perfectly now. Let's give it a test. Lights come on. When we leave, the water starts to drain and that door closes behind us. Come back, it opens again. So as you can see, the amount of drains makes a huge difference in the water clear speed. I would recommend at least 2, probably 4 though, is more optimal than any other number. I think if you have too many, it's not really any improvement past 4. Alright, now let's work on a wet gate. The wet gate is a little bit different. We basically want this door open at all times, the water door, unless we're standing next to one of these panels. So we're going to hook that door up to a NOT gate, and we're going to hook those 2 panels up to the other side of that NOT gate. Now, the only time we ever want this door to open is if the panels are on. Oops. Hang on. There we go. I accidentally deleted that wire. The panels are on and there's no water inside. Panels are on, no water's inside. We can open up the door. Oh, whoops, sorry. We need to make sure that there's no water inside, so we need to hook that up to a NOT gate. So, we're going to take this water sensor, plug it into a NOT gate, that NOT gate into an AND gate, both door panels into the same AND gate, that AND gate into the blue on the door. And it'll open as long as there's no water inside, and we walk up to the panels. So all that's left is to open up the outside door. Now we can open up the outside door as long as one of these 2 panels is on and there's water inside. All we have to do is take that, plug it into here. Actually, the one, what did I delete? I deleted that wire. Okay. Alright, now we have one more problem, is that our drain is always on. We don't want our drain on if this door at the top is open. So we can, hang on, let me think about this for a second. We don't want this drain on most of the time. Yeah, okay, so no, we don't want this drain on if, unless these panels are on. So, if we stand next to the panels, the drain will turn on, otherwise it'll turn off. That's the easiest way to do that. And there you go, a wet gate. Sorry, that one was a little bit quick and a little bit more complicated. There's a lot more wires going to the same places on this gate, so it does look a little bit messier. It's a lot more difficult to read. I think, to look at and kind of understand what it's doing. And it doesn't really work as well as the dry gate, I find. My next tutorial is going to be a gate that incorporates both of these. For single player, these gates I think are better for a multiplayer setting, because you can have people coming and going and there's no problem. But what I'm going to do next is have a gate that is either wet when you're outside or dry when you're inside. It'll use a lot more wiring, and it'll be a little bit more complicated, but I think in the end it'll be a much better automatic door than either of these are. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if there's any big questions you have, if it doesn't work for you for some reason, or if you need help making a different type of airlock, or you want some other type of logic for your airlock, let me know and I'll help you out with a tutorial, or I'll help you out in the comments. Alright, I hope you enjoyed everything, hope you got it working yourself, and I'll see you next time.